highly successful American investor and Barron Capital Group founder, Ron Barron, predicts that Tesla's stock will reach a market capitalization of 4.5 trillion by 2030 in less than 3 years. In 2025, he projects a massive surge in Tesla's stock price, which we who know this company will change the world, can use to retire in less than 24 months. This video will examine Barron's calculations for his 2030 stock price predictions of a 4.5 trillion market cap, as well as his line of thought and the likelihood that this number could materialize. However, before we go there, hit the like button and subscribe. The billionaire investor and philanthropist Ron Barron, who has over 50 years of experience in the investment industry and is widely considered to be one of the most successful investors of his generation, stated in an interview with Market Insider on November 4th, 2022, that Tesla's value could rise by 570% to $4.5 trillion within the next 10 years. Barron has established a reputation for investing in rapidly expanding businesses, including some of the most well-known brands in consumer products, healthcare, and technology. Let's get started. According to predictions, Tesla's stock valuation, which was less than $200 per share when this film was shot, will rise to between $500 and $600 per share in 2025, potentially increasing 2.5 to 3.5 times over the following 10 years. Furthermore, the company's projected growth is predicted to be 7 to 8 times bigger, reaching $4.5 trillion in the same time frame. Although Musk's firm estimates that Tesla sold 1.3 million cars in 2017, Barron's bullish predictions for the next 10 years indicate that his target expects Tesla to sell 20 million cars annually. The language used in that remark is primarily pessimistic, not only because it doesn't prioritize our own human issues, but let's move forward and ignore more promising opportunities. His claim is that by 2030, he and Tesla will have sold 20 million cars annually, each costing $50,000, generating $1 trillion in revenue and operating profits of about 30%, for a total of $300 billion. As an example, if I apply a 15x multiplier to motor vehicle sales alone, I anticipate a range of about 20 million cars to no more than 30 million cars. Let's now look at the last piece of evidence that, in my opinion, demonstrates the utter irrationality of this prediction. Given the rapid pace of Tesla's development, including Musk's prediction that robots will soon outnumber cars, Ron Barron specifically leaves robots out of his projections, choosing instead to focus on a future without fully autonomous FSD and batteries. The results of his calculations, which are shown in this video, are astounding. If we take into account the current stock price tense's valuation for vehicles, it is anticipated that they will increase 7 or 8 times their current value in the future, known as fast forward to 2030. However, before we do, let's take stock prices and assess our current situation and progress. Working backwards from 2030, we can estimate that the delivery of 20 million vehicles at $50,000 each would generate $1 trillion in revenue. Let's talk about the margin of profits. Let's take Barron's statement that they will continue to take and dilute your money until you are worth 7 or 8 times your money, which is just under 67 earnings per share. I find it hard to believe that's not 69 at a PE of 15, which translates to $1,000 per share and a market cap of 4.5 trillion by 2030. What I mean is that by 2024 and 2025, Ron Barron claims that trade levels will have remained unchanged, but I believe that by 2026 or 2027, there will be a decrease rather than an increase in the number of outstanding shares. In terms of price per vehicle, let's say that each vehicle costs $50,000. However, I don't think that price can be so high. In 2030, it can't exceed $40,000. We would have $600 billion in sales, a 30 operating margin, $80 billion in net income, and a P of 15 if they produced 20 million vehicles, which is probably closer to $30,000. According to Ron Barron, the value of vehicles alone is expected to reach 2.7 trillion by 2030, or 600 per share. We'll learn more about the specifics of the vehicles soon, but for now, it appears more realistic. Given that Barron predicted that the stock price will reach 500 or 600 in 2025, let's revisit his concepts and see if we can deduce them. Then we can compute the stock price and P. A PE of 60 is reasonable, assuming they produce the anticipated 13 billion in net income in 2022. With a potential range of 55 to 65, the average P is 63. The market value of the stock should again be higher, since with a PE of 60, the total market capitalization exceeds 700 billion, and the share price would be 240 per share. Additionally, I think that while the Fed is raising rates and implementing substantial quantitative tightening, the PE will be crushed by macroeconomic conditions and market sentiment. If the PE is lower at 55, the market capitalization would fall below 700 billion, and the stock price would fall to 220. However, that is overly cautious. A PE of 75, a market capitalization of about $1 trillion, and a share price of $300 per share in 2023 are the more plausible results. Given that the price of shares has already doubled in 2023, $300 per share may even be too conservative as an end-of-year projection. Let's talk about 2024. Using the PE of 43 as our starting point, the stock price in 2025 is expected to reach 434 per share, with a market valuation of more than $1.5 trillion. With a market valuation of about $2 trillion, I projected a PE of 37 and received 550, which is in line with Ron Barron's 2025 price projection of 500 to 600. In 2026, a stock price of 682 at a PE of 32 would correspond to a market capitalization of more than $2.5 trillion. A PE ratio of 27 in 2027 would translate into a stock price of 816, and the market capitalization would reach $3.1 trillion in 2028, with a PE ratio of 20 and a stock price of 843. In 2029, the market capitalization would surpass $4.2 trillion, with shares costing 9.79, and we would finally reach 2030. We arrive at Ron Barron's prediction that the stock price would be $1,000 per share at a market valuation of $4.5 trillion. As with any forecast, it could come true, but it has been estimated that FSD will require a one-time payment of $30,000 in 2030. With FSD included in the equation, our market cap is $5.7 trillion, and the price per share of our original vehicle, which was only $344 in 2023, will immediately translate to $396 per share, going all the way down to 2030. No batteries, no energy, no robots, just FSD. The conversion rate should likely be closer to 30%, but I'll be cautious and round down to 50. Not bad for a conservative estimate, assuming you need the sum of $1.7 million, which is widely considered to be the magic number for retirement. If the price of a share is $12.67 in 2030, then you only need 1342 shares to live your dream retirement in 7 years. That's incredible, isn't it? Please share your thoughts in the comment section, hit the like button, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.